Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my top food photography tools that I use on many of my shoots. So if that sounds good, stick around. Hi, I'm Kiana Adams from The Key Ingredient. I'm a food photographer and educator. I'm a recipe developer as well. And when I'm not creating my own content, I'm sharing my knowledge and tips and tricks with you. So if that sounds good, stick around. If you're a food photographer or thinking about getting into food photography, you realize how much planning must go into every single shoot, right? So you have to have your arsenal of tools at your disposal, and it takes a little time to develop them, but I'm gonna give you these top tools that I use because they help me out so much. So we're gonna start with something that's probably a little unusual, baking pans. I have many of these, and if you look closely, you can see that they are like, look at them. I mean, it's been baked on a gazillion times, and it has a lot of character. But for food photography, if you put and place your items on a cookie sheet that has so much character like this one does, it really adds a really cool background and visual effect. But if you have pans like this, do not throw them away. They come in handy as really cool backgrounds for your food. All right, so I have my trusty little iPad here, which I love, and I just got this new case for it. And the other tool that I really enjoy using for my food shoots is Canon Connect. Now, I do tether to my laptop, but sometimes I just don't want to mess with it. Canon Connect is really awesome because I can use it both on my phone and my iPad, and I'll turn it around because you can see, you're seeing me, seeing you, seeing me, and this is just a really great tool. So I'm using this to film this video now. If you are a Canon user, this is a really great tool to remotely tether your camera. This is another option, and it's really cool, and I really enjoy it. So, miniature baking tools. Can I tell you how much I love miniatures? They are just, one, they're cute, so you can't get over that. Two, when you are setting up a shoot and you have a small space, using a huge whisk or, you know, any sort of tool. I mean, you really don't want to use the full size tool because oftentimes, at least for me, there's not a lot of space. So mini tools are huge for me in my kitchen. The other thing that I really enjoy using is paintbrushes. Little paintbrushes or makeup brushes, especially if you're dealing with things like flour or powdered sugar or granules of any kind, and you just kind of want to dust them on out the way. This is a really cool tool. They come in a huge pack of like 20 or 50, and they come in all different sizes. So if you don't want to use your good makeup brushes, you can buy a pack of these little brushes. They will help you out. They are good to go. My next tool, and this is something that I really enjoy using, especially when I'm shooting beverages, is Alka-Seltzer. I love using Alka-Seltzer because if I'm shooting something that's supposed to be fizzy and it's no longer fizzing because my shoot is going like way over time, I can break off just the tiniest piece of Alka-Seltzer tablet, plop it into my drinks, and then they start to fizz and it'll become more effervescent. So if you either sugar or Alka-Seltzer tablets, this stays in my bag. I love this. Okay, so next on my list, you'll see these a lot in my shots. Tiny little bowls, whether they're ceramic or wood, that you can use to put spices, any sort of visual element or something of interest into your shot. These are great. So you have your main subject, and then you have anything. I mean, anything can go in these. These are one of my staples in my photography because I always like to tell the story of what the dish is. So if I'm shooting chocolate chip cookies, I might use a small dish like this to put chocolate chips, or if there are nuts, I'll put nuts. These are great for that. So I would highly recommend using little bowls in your work, so keep that in mind. Next in my arsenal of tools and bag of tricks is whole spices. I love using whole spices. I have cinnamon, peppercorns, cloves, allspice, berries. All of those things are really great when you're shooting because the whole point is to add more visual interest. And they have a long shelf life, so you can use it for a while. Whole spices, that is the other item in my arsenal of food photography tips and tools and all that jazz. The other thing that I like to use, and I really recommend that you get, is a really nice set of cutlery. I use a lot of our day in, day out forks, knives, and spoons for my photo shoot. I got this little fancy cutlery set off Amazon, and it's great. I like the gold. That's the motif and the color that I like to use, but there's such a wide variety. I would highly recommend that you get yourself a set of really nice cutlery that you can put throughout your shoot. You don't have to break the bank. If you find something that looks really good to you, that fits in well with your brand, then go ahead and go for it. I highly recommend this. There's been a lot of debate about this particular item, and I still have it because I still find it to be useful, is fake ice. I like fake ice. It gives the illusion, and that's what photography is. It's all about optical illusions, right? So you have your fake ice, you plop it in your drink. No, it does not float like real ice, which is fine, but it works, and it gives you the illusion of a really beautiful, icy cold drink, okay? So fake ice, I keep it in my bag in case I need it. It's always nice to have. If you're going to be using fake ice, then it's going to give the illusion of looking cold, but there's other things that go along with making a drink look cold. And so with that, you're going to need a spray bottle. Now let me tell you something. I love this spray bottle. You can find lots of different spray bottles. They do a fine job, but the thing that I love about this one, this thing mists like nobody's business. I'm just gonna show you. Look at that. I love this spray bottle, okay? The mist goes on forever. You can spray vegetables to give them that really kind of freshly spritzed produce look. It works well on drinks. It works. You will love it. And then you do the water and glycerin, but that nice even mist that it gives, it just really cannot be beat. I'm not using a regular spray bottle. I'm using my mister. Okay. Our next tool, oil. Oil. I love using this on produce, especially things like berries or cranberries or anything that you want to add some specular highlights to. Oil is the go-to. Sometimes I use olive oil. This is an avocado oil. I like to use oils that are safe and edible because I like to eat my food when I'm done with it. The type of photography that I do, I make choices so that's possible in the end. So remember, a little bit of oil goes a long way. And they have oil misters as well. I got one long time ago at a thrift store. I would not put oil in this per se, but they do have ones that are specifically made for oil. So oil, that is a huge one. The next item that I really enjoy, and this is more along the lines of setting up compositions and adding layers to your compositions. Parchment paper, love parchment paper. The beauty of parchment paper is that not only can you cook with it and wrap things up with it, but you can take a small piece and when you crumple it up and then you unroll it, and you have this nice kind of papery texture, and it's great because then you can lay your desserts on it, you can lay a plate on it, you can lay it on top of a plate, in a tray, and it adds another layer. And what you really want to create in your food photography is multiple layers of visual interest, because that is what's going to be eye-catching. So I highly recommend you adding parchment paper to your list of tools. You will not regret it. Modeling clay. All right, so I have children and I have loads of this. I use this all the time. I have shot food where I needed a wonton taco to stand up. It wanted to lean. I just put 2 little balls of modeling clay on either side of the shell and it stood upright. So modeling clay is great. It comes in a variety of colors. This is something that's great to have anytime you need something to stick or not roll or stay put. Modeling clay, it's wonderful. I really enjoy it. So this is something that I would definitely add. All right, I have a couple of more items to show you, but I would like to know which one of these items do you already have in your food photography tools and which one will you be adding? And so you can comment below and let me know what those 2 things are. I look forward to reading them. I'm always very interested in learning more about other tools that I could be adding, so feel free to share. I look forward to hearing all about them. I love these little guys, especially for holiday photo shoots. These are amazing. They are the little Twinkle Lights, and you can put them in the background of your shoot. You know, if you think about it, it's always about creating more visual interest and creating depth in your images. So if you're shooting a straight on and you have your focal point and you put these in your backdrop, these are great because it draws the eye backwards, like into the shot. But I love these Twinkle Lights. And all of the items that I listed here today that you cannot find in your grocery store, I will put links down below. So if you don't find it on YouTube, you can also find it at thekeyingredient.com, and you will find where you can pick up a few of these tools. So Twinkle Lights, that is something that I love, and that's definitely a go-to. The next item, last but certainly not least, is a big one. This prop is one that I absolutely love. I use it all the time. It is a trifold presentation board in all black. And the thing that I love about this, you see how it's blocking the light? If you are trying to stop light from leaking onto your scene, or you need a black backdrop that's matte, I love this board because it is matte. This is for you, and it stands up. You don't have to find something to prop it up on. I bought these on Amazon. They came in a pack of like 6 or 8. Love this. So I would highly recommend you getting those. This is the way to go, hands down. I have a few bonus items for you. If you have not gotten a diffuser yet, that's fine. I'm gonna list the link for you to order one down below. I bought this paper because I was trying to buy parchment paper, but I ended up buying non-stick pan lining paper. Now, when you're trying to add highlights or fill, or you've got like an area of your photo that's just still coming up too dark, look at that. You've got a silver diffuser right here. I used this for a photo shoot the other day, but I had my son hold this up for me close to the area that needed a little bit more light, and it worked perfectly. And guess what? You've got a white side. So you've got a 2-in-1. Okay, so this is a bonus, but of all of the tools that I mentioned, this is probably one of the ones that you need to get first. So if you don't want to use the paper, having a 5-way diffusion little disc like this is really important to have, because it has the silver side, it has the black side, and then you can turn it over and this comes out. That's for diffusion. Then it also has a white and it has a gold. I can just hold it up and I can get it to where I need it. So this is something that you should definitely have. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in with me today and learning about some of the tools that I use in my food photography. I love creating content for you guys and I look forward to creating more. I'm a food photographer and educator and a recipe developer. Yes, I can throw down. But when I'm not creating content for myself, I like to share my knowledge of photography and tips and tricks with you. So make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and you will receive a notification every time I post a video. And remember to follow me at The Key Ingredient on Instagram. I look forward to creating more content for you guys, but in the meantime, keep cooking, keep shooting.